guest is not only the CEO and founder of AI Build, an incredible technology company based here in Melbourne, but I've just learned is also a coach for Boxing Australia, so someone you do not want to get on the wrong side of. Yifei Wang, welcome.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Janet, and hi, everyone.
Nice to have you speaking to us today.
Thanks.
Now, I hear that you grew up in Shanghai and then moved as an international student, fresh-faced at 18. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Tell me all about what that journey was like when you came here all by yourself.
Oh, I think it's, to me, it's kind of a little bit terrifying at the very beginning because I haven't been to Australia before. I've been to United States for the traveling and also learn a bit more about the universities that in United States. But absolutely, that's the first time that I came into Australia and didn't know much about Australian culture. But I was lucky that I have a very good homestay mother, and then who actually teach me a lot about the Australian cultures and sometimes even slang a bit. And also and little by little, I start to learn a lot of stuff about the Australian cultures, and then know how I can actually quickly pick up a lot of slang words as well.
That's so cool. And I mean, I think, when you're moving across, it's so brave to come by yourself with, figuring out a language and coming to stay with someone new. How did you find yourself building out your network? Because we're obviously going to take the journey all the way to AI Build. But when your early days as a migrant to this country, how did you build your network out?
Right. I think it's especially sports and also some the same passions in sports or the same passions that in technical stuff, for example, computer science. So these are the two things that you can also attracting a lot of like-minded people. So usually I play the basketball or sometimes play a little bit about footy, or because I played the rugby back in China.
Right.
And so I did a little bit about the footy as well. So that's how I make a lot of friends. Because we are for basketball or footies, you have to be a team up. You have to team up with other people, and then we become friends, and it's very easy to making a lot of friends. Yeah.
That's a really great tip, just leaning into the things that you love. And you mentioned also computer science. And do you mean things like hackathons or other events like that?
That's right. So I also encourage a lot of my students, because I'm also casually teaching at Melbourne Uni as well. So I think the hackathons is also very important to because you have to team up with other team members who might you might be a perfect matching with other people's, and also you can also find other people's strengths during the competition. And also, even you guys are not on the same team, you can also make friends with other people as well. So which is really great experience.
I have to guess that perhaps working on hackathons and then getting involved in those kinds of events really set you up for building out a company. And
Absolutely.
I'd love you to give us in your own words, in a nutshell, what is AI Build and what do you do?
Yep. So actually, AI Build was previously was the founders of AI Build. Actually, previously we are the team that aiming for the hackathon as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's how we come up with the idea for forming an AI Build company. Currently, AI Build is a emerging Australian R&D company that focusing on the artificial intelligence and all the high-tech web technologies as well. So we are all we can say it's a R&D and D. So research and development and deployment. So we are not only doing the research and development, but also we trying to also helping our clients or our own joint ventures to deploy it, to commercialize it at a later stage as well.
You're every university's dream, how do you commercialize that R&D? I don't think I've ever heard R&D and D before, so I'm sure it won't be the last time.
Yeah, this is the words that I learned from the AI trade mission in Southeast Asia. Better to use it. Yeah.
Did you just recently come back from a trade mission?
Yes.
And that was whereabouts? Was that Malaysia?
It's both Singapore and Malaysia.
And so really this gives me a clue that maybe AI Build, even though you're based here in Melbourne, you already have global ambitions. Is that correct?
Yes, we're always planning to, stand on the global stage as well. Yeah, but we are still an Australian company and based in Melbourne. Yeah.
Now, tell me, why did you decide it was a good idea to stick around in Melbourne, to build your company here and build out your team locally?
I think the reason is quite obvious because we found like AI Build like 8 years ago, and we're just like 3 of us are just Australian like international students, and even we can like grow the companies and running company here very smoothly and successfully. Then we have actually having very supportive like environment, and both like city of Melbourne, Victoria government, and also the federal government, they are all very support the startups, and we can very easily to find a lot of like accelerator programs, and also a lot of funding opportunities, and also some events that connects to the virtual venture capitals as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can't sort of walk down the street in Melbourne without bumping into some meetup or yeah. Now, I want to actually ask you about something quite special. Now, not only were you an international student and now business owner here, but you landed something pretty amazing called the Distinguished Talent Visa. And so can you tell me a little bit more about what that is and how your name was, lit up in lights as the winner of that visa?
Yeah, so every time I speaking of about this visa, I always feel very grateful. Yeah, and that also clearly shows like the support that from the Victoria government, and also the multicultural environment in Australia. So I was at that time after I graduated as a master student, and I have 2 years like visas. But I always like quite concerning about like what if my visa expired, like and I still got startups here, and I still got my business here and all the clients here. So at that time, the Global Talent Program comes up, and then we come. Then I found maybe that's the opportunity for us, and also a officer from Victoria government, Nick, who actually come and visit our company and also give us all the details about the global talent programs, and he suggested me to give a try. So
shout out to Nick, good job.
Yeah. So I said why not? Then so but what we found is okay, they have a bunch of lists that you have to tick the box, and also you probably need to having a lot of some kind of specializations, whether in digitech or in medical commercialization, doesn't matter. As long as you are an expert or you have a particular like strengths in a particular areas, yeah, you might be able to recognize a global talent.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and also apart from that, you probably need to having some nominators and also referees as well. So we are also lucky enough to have Kathy Coates, who's the ICT director from Victoria government, and also Professor Li Haizhang, who is from the leader of engineering and the leader of engineering management from Melbourne Uni, who supports us and supports my applications. Yeah,
that's really. It's really interesting to hear that, because it speaks to two things. One is you knowing what your strengths were to write down all of those things that you're distinguished in, and then also having built your network over time, having amazing people that were willing to support you. So I think that's a great example of how those two things come together to,
thanks very much.
To win that.
Yeah, I was quite lucky.
No, I'm not lucky, yes, but also lots of hard work, I think. So we don't underplay that on this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I want to come back to almost the start of AI Build, because you were a hackathon team coming together, and you had this idea, maybe we can do a business. But I heard a rumor that you got your start when you were actually doing deliveries for a cake shop.
Yes.
Now tell me this story, because I can't believe it, how you can go from a cake shop to running an AI company.
Right. Okay. Sure. I'm happy to share about the story that actually behind it. So so just after I graduated as a bachelor student, I think probably it's the time for me to make some money so that I can support my own like living cost here. So rather than like leveraging all the money from my family, so I decided to do some part-time jobs. Actually, I do multiple part-time jobs at that time during my summer vacations. Okay. So I become like a courier for the cake delivery, and also I like doing a lot of airport transfer. Driver as well, and also so that's also becoming like a boxing coach. So I learned some stuff because I also having my own passions in boxing. So I do usually do a lot of multiple stuff at the same time. And one day, at the very beginning, it's just like I'm just a cake delivery driver. And one day, the owner of the cake shop having issues with his Mac.
Okay.
His iMac, and he just suddenly forgot his like password, and it's very urgent.
Problem.
Yes, and it's very urgent because we have to deliver all the like cake orders and to our clients or to our customers, but he just forgot his password and he don't know what to do. And I said, why not let me try, and I'll just like somehow like crack at the backhand side and help them to reset the password and let them to use the iMac.
Yifei to the rescue for the cakes.
Yeah, and then like the owner was quite shocked, but in a positive way, and he asked me, okay, so whether we would like to take the website development opportunity for his cake shop, and that's how we start.
Oh, and your very first project came from just giving some value, using your skills. That is very cool. I bet he was shocked. He was like, I thought this guy was just a delivery driver. So next time you get a delivery, anybody, you might think about that person being the future CEO of an AI company. Now, clearly AI Build didn't just go from building a cake website to winning multi-million-dollar contracts. There were steps in between. So I heard that you were doing a lot of competitions and hackathons. And can you tell me about some of those that might have been particularly impactful for the business?
Sure. Actually, there's a lot of hackathons and competitions that are around Melbourne. And the one that we particularly enter into, which is the Open Innovation, held by City of Melbourne. And we are very lucky enough to become the finalist of the that competitions. And then we're having a lot of attractions and having a lot of leads later on after we showcasing our products and our services, and then that's how our story begins and also becoming more flourishing later on.
That's so great. Was that the Nexus competition?
Yes, that's the Nexus. Yeah, that's the one.
Sounds like it was really impactful for the business.
Yes, it's very important.
Now, I'm curious about, so since then, you are now closing multi-million-dollar contracts. I heard that recently you had a win.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit more about some of these big projects that you're now leading and how you've managed to get that funding coming to your business? Sure.
So now, at the very beginning, AI Builder was a normal IT consulting business because we are all from the three founders. We are all from the technical backgrounds, and we don't really have any commercial backgrounds. So we come up with the idea: why not we leveraging our strengths and providing IT solutions to all our clients who actually having extensive experience in the marketing or in business, and we can learn from them. So that's how we start, and little by little we also gain a lot of experience through their success of the projects or the failure of the projects. So we learn a lot, and then we kind of shift to the artificial intelligence and the R&D because we think IT solutions that this is something that actually a lot of people can do, and they can sometimes even do overseas as well. But for the very high tech and also the research and development, this is something that not many company can do. So that's our idea, to shift our focus to the artificial intelligence and R&D. And now AI Build, because we are also leveraging a lot of collaborations with the Melbourne Uni or other top universities in Victoria and in Australia. So we found all the research organizations, research organizations needs is they got the research output, but they don't have time, or they don't have they don't have the time to commercialize it.
Yes.
Or they don't know how to do the commercialization later on. Where a lot of our clients, they having the idea, they know where all my clients, they actually having the ideas, they having the brilliant idea, they know a lot, they gain a lot of experience in their own industries, and they know the pain point where they don't have the capability to do the research and make it happen.
That technical expertise.
Yeah, so that's where AI Build perfectly fits in.
It does.
And now AI Build, we see it as we want to provide or create an AI ecosystem, and now we're having multiple projects. We, for example, AI in infrastructure, AI in constructions, AI in healthcare, AI in education.
Wow.
And many more, and AI, even in AI in NDIS projects as well. So what we do is we trying to leveraging the AI techniques to empowering all other industries. And so recently the fundings we are getting, which is roughly about like 2.5 million. This is the one that we are getting from the federal government to supporting us for implement our research and development activities that in the AI in warehouse and supply chain industries.
Amazing. Yeah. So congratulations on getting that significant funding from the Australian government.
Thank you.
And I think what strikes me about the way you talk about AI Build is it is sort of it's a powerhouse of capabilities that's really going to help economies and industries across the country. Everything from, as you said, supply chains to education. And I think it really does speak to why these kind of skills and knowledge need to be in every discipline, in every industry. And I'm a big believer in that, actually, from an education perspective, teaching young people as well. And you're now an educator back, which I think is great. What do you teach?
Thanks very much. From I actually starting my teaching assistant jobs in Melbourne Uni 7 years ago. So now I've been teaching artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer system, internet technology, engineering risk management, engineering project implementation, and now engineering entrepreneurship as well. So roughly about 7 or 8 subjects before. Yeah.
You strike me as that classic entrepreneur that somebody will go, just one of those things is a full-time job. You somehow managed to squeeze 13 of them into one day, which is pretty cool. Having come from Shanghai and moving to Australia, you have this unique kind of, I guess, bicultural, bilingual background. You can kind of flex between the cultures of Chinese and Australian. How have you found that actually helping you in business? Does it open doors? Does it change the way you think about things?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is something I think we have a particular strength because we speak different kind of language, and at the same time we know perfectly about the Asian culture and also Australian culture as well, the Western culture. So we can bridging the gap between the Australian business and also the Asian business as well. So which makes us feel like we can actually dealing all the business with basically we can basically dealing all the business with other people that in different cultures. So that actually give us the confidence. And at the very beginning, because we not having a lot of connections in around the Australian business, so we at the very beginning we got a lot of orders or customers that who actually coming from the Chinese businessmen who actually getting the visa in Australia. Yeah.
And do you find that it's, you mentioned you can understand both cultures and speak both languages, which is amazing. Do you think there are any other skills as an entrepreneur that really help you transcend those cultural barriers?
I think especially Asian culture, which put more focus on the work. And I think this is something that I learned. I pick up very quickly, and which is I have to devote myself into my startup, and so to work very hard and then enjoy the fruits and the outcomes later. So this is something that
work ethic.
I truly believe as well. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that would hold you, you hold yourself to quite a high level of discipline when you take that Asian mentality of just keep going, just get it done.
Yeah, always, never gonna sleep.
My parents will never forgive me for not paying attention in Chinese school. I'll tell you that much. Now, I do want to ask you because of the people that I've spoken to so far, you have the largest number of employees. So you employ 20 plus, almost 30 people. So can you tell me a bit about your leadership style and how do you go about rallying that group of people behind you in the mission?
Sure. Currently, because apparently there's a lot of unicorns that got hundreds or thousands of employees, which we think we still are very we're still at a very early stage. So having 20 or 30 colleagues that working in the AI build actually is still quite challenging for us. But what we do is we trying to put them into different groups and we let them to find find their own perfect matching, because a lot of people might having different like cultural backgrounds, and also they having different strength. So usually, because we having multiple projects working at the same time, so we would like to break it down to many different groups and let them to find who they work very well with, and then let them to come into a group, and then we kind of like in the AI world we talk it is divide and conquer. So that's something we do.
It actually sounds like you run almost a hackathon style process, but inside
sort of
the company.
Yeah.
like here are all these jobs and projects and things to be solved, and then let people find the projects that work the best for them.
Yeah,
that's so
right.
empowering as a leader. And do you find that your leadership style has changed? I think for me personally, stepping into the role of being a CEO, inverted commas, felt a little bit uncomfortable initially, and owning that title. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I think this is also quite challenging, because being a CEO or take the leadership for a company, you have to not only not only that you are actually having all the responsibility, but also you're taking a lot of risk, because if the progress of a project fall behind, actually you are the one that who actually concerns the most.
The buck stops with you.
Yeah. So, but at that time, we are also trying to not pushing the pressure to the other like groups, other members of the company, because they've also have their own job to do, and we need to create a very friendly and a supportive environment, and so that everyone can become more activity and also creativity as well.
Yes.
So more productive, rather than like pushing up all the negative emotions to them.
I completely understand what you're saying, because I think there is that role of shielding your team from the scariness and the uncertainty and the bad news, so they can be at their best.
That's right.
And that's a true sort of leadership trait.
Yeah.
And as a founder, when you know everything, you know what's going on in cash flow, and you know what's going on with the technical problems, and then still having, to bridge that gap between where we want to be and what's happening right now. It's a constant challenge. So
and also we need to sometimes we also have to come up with some ideas to how to let them to also share the same values, and also let them to feeling like the project is very promising, and also they also feel the supportive environment as well.
Keep them motivated.
Yes.
Now, speaking of keeping yourself motivated, you recently went on this trade mission to Malaysia and Singapore, and I'm curious about how did you find that supported the growth of your business, and would you recommend trade missions as an activity for other entrepreneurs?
Yes, absolutely. This is the first time that I've been to the AI trade missions with Global Victoria and Austrade. So, and I feel it's very supportive and very helpful journey, and also apparently it's also very hectic, because every single day we have to get up very early, like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then come back to the hotel around 9 or 10 at night. But
That's
but I think it's worthwhile, and the reason why is because we can feel that being a Australian company, they are very like the people that in Southeast Asia, and also the business and the governments from Southeast Asia very have a particular preference for Australian company, because they think Australian company are quite decent and also professional, and they like Australian service and goods. So this is actually also give us extra credibilities for providing when we're trying to providing our services.
That's great.
Yeah, and also create the partnerships with them. Yeah.
I think you're right. The Australian business community has quite a good reputation overseas, is what I've definitely found. Now, I'm curious about what advice you would give yourself back on the first year of your entrepreneurship journey, knowing what you know now. What would you tell yourself?
Wow, I think I've go through these 8 years. I actually learned a lot from my entrepreneurship journey. But I think the most important thing is trying to if I can go back, I would say like try to slow down everything. Don't to be too pushy, and also because everything will happen for reasons as long as you're you have your determinations, and you will finally get there. Yeah, so at the very beginning, I talked to my two co-founders saying we will become a unicorn within 5 years, and but we actually little by little we are getting there. But I think we are setting the bar too high, and so which makes us, if we can't really make that progress or reach our target, then it's kind of a discourage.
Yes.
For the whole team. So I would say like just like keep working hard and being smart and making more friends. Try to slow down, and finally the money will follow and the dream will come true.
That is such a beautiful piece of advice, and you know, resonates very strongly with myself, because I think when you're ambitious and you have big goals for your company and for the mission that you're trying to have, you want it to be big, you want it to be global, and I think we can be very impatient.
Yeah.
And it causes us to put pressure on ourselves, on our team.
That's right.
And it sounds like you know, make friends, do the work, and the money will follow. It's a really nice way to put it. Sounds so much more accessible coming from you. Incredible, important work.
Thank you.
And it's just been such a pleasure to chat to you and hear about your leadership journey and your personal journey. And maybe someday we'll meet in the boxing ring, and you can show me how to spar.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Awesome. Yifei Wang, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Nice talk to you, Jeanette.